Yo, what's good, YouTube? Today I just wanted to go over Encore. This was a character that I just did not care for, like, at all. I didn't really look into her kit much because once again I just didn't care. But because of the 5-star selector that we got, I lost to 50 on Gion's banner, so and then I ended up getting Calcharo, so I got the 3 characters that I really wanted. So I was like, oh, okay, I guess we'll get Encore. Why not? Let's try her out. And when I tell you this character is like a complete 180 for me, it's like, bro, this is now my favorite character to play in the game. Like, her playstyle is just so interesting because like whenever you pop her ultimate, it switches her stance from like a from a ranged stance to like a melee stance. It's not permanent, it's only for a couple of seconds, but it's still like very fun. And then you have her skill change and stuff, and like even her range skill change is just so much fun, man. Like, her skill for her range is just like a bunch of little attacks, and then you can do another attack if you hit it afterwards. And then her heavy attack, bro, she has a beam, and then if you build up your gauge enough, she has like a giant ass thing that she summons and does a big AoE. It's such a cute design because like when we were in the story, like I said, I didn't really care for the character. Like, once we got to the point in the story where we met her, bro, she was absolutely adorable and one of my favorite parts of the story. Like, you have Genshin where they have KLEE, and I guess Starro has like Clara. I guess though that's like that character for this game. She's just adorable, and then her kit just destroys everything in the game, so she's really good. And then she has those 2 little like yin and yang summons that are just so cute. So yeah, that's why today I just want to go over her build and how to play her, I guess. And yeah, I know some people didn't want to play her because they don't want like a lolly on their team, which I understand. They don't want a kid, a baby, whatever on their team, which I don't say I want to say it was the same way, but when I seen everything about her, I just didn't really care for it. But once we got to that point in the story with her in it, bro, she was just so adorable. And then they let us trial play her, bro. It was fighting the boss in the story with her was just so much fun, bro. Her play style just made me want to instantly pour her. And then legit, once I finished that, legit like an hour later, they gave us the 5-star selector. I was hype. So yeah, anyways, let's just get into her build now and her kit and stuff. I'm gonna explain it. I will say this: her best in slot is obviously gonna be the 5 stars. You have the current 5-star in the game, Cosmic Ripples, which is the one we can choose from the 5-star selector. But her best in slot is going to be the String Master, which is Yinlin's weapon whenever she releases. But realistically, if you get the String Master, you're obviously gonna put on Yinlin. So it's like, realistically, her best in slot is Cosmic Ripples. But after that, her best in slot is going to be Augment, the 4-star. But basically, it gives her some crit rate while also just giving her some attack whenever you pop her ultimate, which for this character, that is massive because you're going to be popping her ultimate a lot because that's her main damage source. And then plus just getting 20% crit is just an insane amount. So after Augment though, you can run Jinsho Keeper, which is the one that I'm running. It just gives her some attack percent, and whenever you intro skill into her, it just gives her some more attack and HP. So it's a fine one. This is definitely out of the ones I named the worst one by a good amount, but it's still really good. And then if you don't have either of those, you can run, which is this one, Rectifier of Night. It basically gives her more attack whenever you intro skill into her. And if you for some reason don't have that at S5, then you can run Guardian Reflector, which is this one. Just gives her more basic and heavy attack damage bonus while also some attack, so that's also really good too. And then after her weapons, you have her Echoes, which are best in slot. As you can see, what I'm wearing is going to be her 5-piece Molten Rift. And this game, instead of it calling pyro or fire damage, it's called fusion damage. So once again, it's another one of those things where it's like, you have a fusion damage character, put the fusion set on her. But if you don't have this set, then you can run 5-piece lingering tunes for the attack and outro and skill damage. It's a really good set on her too, but obviously the other one is going to just be overall really better. But if you don't have either 5-piece of those and you're still early in the game, you can run 2-piece Molten and 2-piece Endless, basically the ones I just named, to get the fusion damage and the attack. They're both really good. So, and like I said earlier, she's a main DPS, so the main things you're going to want to go for are crit rate, crit damage, fusion damage bonus, and attack percent. And in this game, you can run crit rate main stat and still roll crit rate as a substat. So the most important substats you need to go for are crit rate, crit damage, attack percent, and then liberation damage bonus for her ultimate, and then heavy attack damage bonus. Her best in slot is going to be the Inferno Rider, which you get by going to kill the boss to get her materials. So you're just going to get him over time, and he's really good for you to farm echoes because you can ride him kind of like a mount for a couple of seconds whenever you pop it if you hold it. So yeah, pretty simple main DPS to build. It's not that hard. And then for her fortes, I'm just not used to calling them that still. I just still want to call them traces. But basically her skills / abilities. Her Resonance Liberation, which is her ultimate, is what you should focus. Like I said before, this is like her main part of her kit, and which switches her from her ranged attacks to her melee attacks that do the most damage is this. So after that, you should focus her forte circuit. Basically, once you fill up your gauge, you basically heavy attack and it does like this little charge attack and it basically drops like a big ass summon onto the enemies. It's just a really cute like ability. So yeah, it just does a lot of damage too, so it's just worth getting. Good amount of AoE too. After that, once again, she's a main DPS, so you should get her basic attacks because you're going to be hitting those a lot when you're playing her, and I mean a lot. So, and then after that, her skill, it just pulls out some damage. That's really it. Doesn't really do much. And then after that, obviously her intro skill. This is, once again, I keep saying this, but she's a main DPS, so you should just basically forget all of these. At the end of the day, this is an early game guide, but you should just level them up anyways, because we're at some point we're gonna have to get to this point where we get the fusion damage bonus, and these combined almost give 9% plus, which is just an insane amount. So, and then you have her outro skill, which it just does a bunch of damage. It forms like a ring around the enemy, and basically whenever they're standing in it, it does an insane amount of damage based on her attack for 6 seconds. Once again, I say this about every guide, but just make sure whenever you switch off a character, like 95% of the time, that their outro skill is up or their intro skill is up. It's just really good. And then yeah, next, before I go into her resonance chains, because most people don't care about that, I want to go over her synergies. Her best in slot synergies are going to be more Teffy, because she does heavy attack, and then Verena obviously for the heals and buffs. But at the same time, Yinlin is going to be her best sub DPS to run her with, which is just massive. She's like Calcharo basically, which is going to be such a W, which I was so excited when I found out about that, because I was like, bro, this is my favorite character to play in the game, so being able to run her with Yinlin is going to be insane. And then obviously the last part of this video, the one that most people just don't care about, her resonance chains. I just want to go over the important ones, the ones that are going to be the best ones to get. You know, I'll start from S6. Her S6, even though most people don't care, not going to get it, it's obviously just OP. That's really it. Then obviously her S3 is also really good. Just gives her some extra damage on her heavy attack and damage multiplier, 40%, which is insane. So if you're someone able to get copies of her, I mean, shit, that's OP as fuck. And then her S1 is really good because it just gives you like 12% damage bonus on your basic attack, which is just really good because, like I said, you're just going to be spamming them. So yeah, overall, this is like a really good damage dealer. People didn't test her enough, but she is on the same tier as Calcharo. Like the number 1 tier is going to be Yinlin and Verena and what's his name, Jian. But after that, the next tier is going to be Calcharo and what's her name, and Encore, because they're just both a really good main DPS. Well, I guess he's a sub DPS, but you get what I'm saying. They're both just really good at what they do, and she's on the same tier as them. Like, I was at the point where I was mad as fuck because I lost a 50-50 to Calcharo and Jian, but now I'm like really happy that I did low-key, just for the fact that I was able to use my 5-star selector on her instead of Calcharo now, because now this is probably going to just be my main until I guess even when Yinlin comes out, that she works perfectly with her. So there you go. So yeah, that's the guide. That's all I really wanted to go over. If you want like a breakdown on her playstyle and everything, you can go on the training simulation. I know a lot of people don't know about this. You can go over here down to, where is it, path to growth. You go to skill training. I still haven't done it because I just got her like earlier today. But basically, once you unlock a new character, there's a new training skill tutorial for her every single time. So once I get, let's say, Yinlin, there's gonna be another one here. It's a really cool system that until you unlock that character, you can't do it, which I kind of like, instead of having to wait for them, because you can still do their trial whenever they're on the banner, like the regular gacha games. But once you unlock them, you get like a full breakdown of their like playstyle, their kit, and everything on there, and it's just really good, and gives free rewards and upgrade materials for her. So it's like, why not just do it? So yeah, this unit, like I was saying, she's just insane, and if you get her, you won't regret it, unless you obviously just don't enjoy her playstyle, which, I mean, that's just, obviously everyone's different. So, but I would say at the end of the day, she is worth getting if you do get her, because she just does a good amount of damage. If you're focusing on meta, she does insane amount of damage. So yeah, that's the guide, and I just want to show y'all how to build her and stuff. So yeah, thanks for watching, and let me know if you built her. Anyways, see you guys in the next one.